my name is Josh Sloan. I will be your host for this evening. I'm the Volunteer and Outreach Coordinator for Sportable. We are an adaptive sports nonprofit in Richmond. And welcome to the Jumpstart Your Career with Virginia Businesses session of the Career Cafe. The Career Cafe is produced by the Department of Aging and Rehabilitative Services and Virginia Ability in support of National Job Shadow Month of 2021. The goal here is to help students explore career options and opportunities in the state of Virginia. Today's segment of the Career Cafe will feature a panel discussion with business leaders from Southern states, Anthem, Virginia Asset Management, Dominion Energy, Performance Food Group, the Federal Reserve, and the Virginia Association of Area Agencies on Aging. The lost interpreter. Okay, sorry. The format of today is as follows. Following my interview questions, we will open the chat for question and answer from the viewers. When the question and answer period is open, go ahead and drop your questions into the chat box, and we will funnel those to the panelists. We might not get to all questions during today's interview, but we will. Possible suggested use panel view. But we will get to as many questions as possible. And if there are pertinent unanswered questions, we will answer those via email a few days following today's session. We've got a lot of great guests representing 7 different companies and not a ton of time. So I think we should go ahead and get started. Hopefully everybody can see everything that they need to. So for the panelists, could each of you give us a brief overview of your business and what you guys do, and go ahead and also introduce yourselves, and we will start with Mark.
Okay, I'll try to, all right, it works. Okay, my name is Mark Trummel, and I'm an HR compliance specialist at Performance Food Group. So let me tell you about PFG. So we are the 2nd largest distributor of food in the United States. We're a Fortune 200 company with 130 warehouse distribution centers, 5 different corporate offices, and 22,000 employees nationwide. So where does all our food go? So we sell quality food and beverages to independent and chain restaurants, schools, hospitals, entertainment venues like football stadiums and ballparks, convenience stores, motels, and prisons. So on the prison side, it's in the commissaries. It's not in the cafeterias. So I'll tell you about some of what our segments do, because that's what's really interesting. So our Vistar segment stocks candy, popcorn, and soda concessions at 99% of all movie theaters across the country. Our Customized segment supplies casual dining restaurants like Outback, Olive Garden, Cracker Barrel, and Red Lobster. And our E.B. Brown segment supplies convenience stores at gas stations with candy, chips, and cigarettes. So how are we doing in the pandemic? Well, as everybody knows, restaurants and movie theaters are not doing all that great because restaurants are at 50% capacity and most movie theaters are closed. However, we're making up for it in the convenience store area because everybody's buying a ton of snacks when they're filling up at the gas station. And for some reason, our stock price is close to an all-time high, which I cannot explain. So that's basically a snapshot of what PFG does.
Thanks, Mark. Mark, while we've got you here, do you want to give the folks a little bit of an overview of the Virginia Ability Job Portal?
Yes. Okay. So I will talk a little bit about the Our Ability website and how Virginia Ability is connected to it. So Our Ability is a virtual gateway that connects job seekers and employers. On the Our Ability website, individuals with disabilities can use artificial intelligence to create their own candidate profile and then search from thousands of jobs. This website has a super repository of job listings from companies who are looking to hire individuals with disabilities. So how does it work? So as a subscriber, PFG pools its jobs with those of other reputable companies. And you can look at the list on the job site. It's companies like 3M, Train Technologies, and the Mayo Clinic. Our Ability constantly scrapes our PFG job postings from our career site so that they stream directly into its job portal. For more information, you can visit www.ourability.com/jobs.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah. You want to give us a little overview of your business as well?
Sure, Josh. Thanks. My name is Gibb Sloan, and I am a senior financial planner with Virginia Asset Management, headquartered here in Midlothian, Virginia. Virginia Asset Management is one of the largest independently owned and operated full-service financial planning firms in the state. We have offices in most of the larger cities in the East Coast, and our main operational staff's located here in Richmond. A lot of times people ask, what does a financial services firm do? We do quite a bit. One of the nice things about our firm is that we operate very much in a kind of a team orientation. So at our firm, whether we're working with individuals in their retirement planning, helping parents find ways to educate their children, whether we're working with business owners trying to supply their employees with benefits, retirement plans, health benefits, or even when we're working with business executives trying to exit their business and to help them turn their lifelong work of owning and operating in a business into an asset that they can use to retire off of. Our team approach enables us to bring groups of advisors together who specialize in very unique aspects of all the different planning work and work in a very collaborative approach. Our founder started the firm here in Richmond about 30 years ago. We were very fortunate to have been named in calendar year 2019 as one of the best small, medium-sized businesses to work for in the greater Richmond area by Richmond Magazine. We're also very excited about, and I know we'll get into this a little bit later, Josh is going to, when we open up for Q&A, but we also have prided ourselves over the years in working with students, both coming out of high school and in college and coming out of college with internship programs. Whether someone has a desire to work in an advisor capacity or work with our administrative team, we've got lots of different opportunities to work with young people, give them a lot of exposure to the business, and learn a little bit more about what we do.
Thanks, Gibb. All right, Jay, you're up, man.
Thank you, Josh. Hi, my name is Jay Barrow, and I lead the talent acquisition function for Southern States Cooperative. Southern States, we've been in business for right at 98 years. So just 2 more years, it'll be our 100th anniversary. And we're one of the largest agriculture and energy fuel products and services company on the East Coast. Our business model is really divided into 3 core areas. We, as an essential industry and workforce, we help feed the world. We provide crop seeds, crop protectants, crop nutrients, crop fertilizers to our farmers that ultimately get into a variety of stores into the hands of consumers for nutritional value. Secondly is our energy fuel business. So we're a very large distributor of assortment of gasolines to propanes to heating fuels to diesel fuels that all consumers need to utilize to operate their vehicles. And then lastly, we have a very large retail operation. That's where we provide a variety of on the farm as well as in the home and hobbyist related agriculture, lawn and garden, plant, horticultural products, apparel, more of your residential fuels that you may need. And from an employment standpoint, we offer internship opportunities like many of the employers that you'll hear from today, as well as part-time hourly positions at our retail stores, our corporate office here and headquartered in Richmond, Virginia, as well as our agronomy plants locations as well throughout the Commonwealth. And in addition to that, last thing I'd just like to mention is that we do partner with Virginia Ability. We do also advertise various summer internship opportunities as well.
Thank you, Jay. All right, Dan, you are up.
Hey, Josh, thanks, and welcome everybody today. Thanks for joining us to listen in on our talk today. I appreciate all of you showing up. And so my company is Dominion Energy. So Dominion's history goes back over 100 years in the state of Virginia. And we actually today operate in 16 states. And Virginia, we also operate in West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Ohio, Utah, and there's at least 10 other states that we're operating in now. And our main mission is to provide safe, clean, reliable, and affordable energy to over 7 million people every day. The way we do business in Virginia in particular is a regulated utility. So that means that our business is regulated by the State Corporation Commission, and they work with us to establish the rates that you pay in your electric bill every day if you have Dominion Energy as a power provider. We also, outside of Virginia, we also provide power generation in states outside of Virginia. We provide natural gas transmission and storage. We provide electric transmission, so power lines, underground power lines, things of that nature, all operated by Dominion Energy. The people at our company can be administrative. We have marketing folks. We have engineers. We have people who work in construction, so go out and build solar panels. We build power plants. We have folks that work in operations, so operating the power stations, operating the facilities across all the states that we work in. And we have people who talk on the phone and do customer service. So if you have a problem with your bill or you have a problem with your account, we have people who handle that type of business. And we also have a pretty strong presence to handle all the different things that go along with accounting. So finance and accounting. As you can imagine, with a company this large and spread out, there's a lot of different accounts to handle, a lot of different financial transactions to handle. So all different ranges of accounting and legal type folks work at our company as well. So with that, I mean, you could look at a broad range of opportunities at our company. So just to put it in perspective, we generate roughly 27,000 megawatts of power. That's probably equivalent to about somewhere between 5 to 6 million homes across the country in all the states that we operate in. And with that, one of our missions is to kind of change the future of energy. So to move away, as you probably heard in the news and read, that, the country's moving away from classic fossil fuel generation and moving towards renewable energy. So we have a commitment as a company to reach net neutral carbon emissions by 2050, which means we've reduced out the stack carbon emissions and we've moved to a more renewable energy type future. And we're currently invested heavily in building solar across the country, in particular in Virginia. And we have a new project called the Coastal Virginia Offshore Wind Project, where we'll be building wind turbines off the coast of Virginia Beach. And that project is getting underway over the next few years as well. So a huge investment with our company in renewable energy and all the things that go along with supporting that. So in general, I'd say our company's dedicated to delivering clean, reliable energy, making sure our employees are satisfied. And in everything we do, we start with safety and environmental compliance to make sure that the people that work for us go home in the same condition that they arrived at work that day, and that the environment that we work in is. Back to you.
Thanks, Dan. Okay, Lisa, you are up next. And for all panelists, I'm getting a lot of comments in the chat. So I have a tendency to talk very fast. I will try to slow down, and if you could all do the same, that would be very helpful to the interpreters. But Lisa, go ahead.
Well, hi everybody. My name is Lisa Clark, and I am a recruiter at Anthem. And I've been here for 15 years, and I've been doing recruiting the whole time. So if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. So what is Anthem? So I generally explain Anthem is the name of our company. The products that we have are Blue Cross and Blue Shield insurance, as well as other insurance products. So Anthem is a leading health benefit company dedicated to improving the lives and communities and making healthcare simpler for each person. Through some of our affiliate companies, Anthem serves more than 107 million people, including more than 43 million within its family of other health plans. So if you think about it this way, 1 in 8 American people receive coverage from their medical care through one of Anthem's affiliate plans.
All right, thanks, Lisa.
Yeah.
Sean, go ahead, sir. Sean, there you go.
There we go. Good afternoon. My name is Sean Smith. I am a state program director at the Virginia Association of Area Agencies on Aging. It is a nonprofit organization, and it oversees all of the area agencies on aging locally across the state. We call our organization the V4A, and we represent the AAAs around the state. There are 25 AAAs around the state, and the AAA organizations are established to provide services to seniors, people over 65, in all of the communities around the state of Virginia. They fund programs like Meals on Wheels, Medicare counseling. They provide tax services, other legal services, and connect seniors with things like transportation services. The AAAs are funded with local, state, and federal funding, and they provide these services for free for seniors. And so seniors simply have to call in and request whatever specific services they need. As I said, there are 25 AAAs around the state, and each of those AAAs has a director, and as well as a staff that helps coordinate those services for seniors. The AAAs are also connected loosely with the Department of Aging and Rehabilitative Services, as the commissioners over both DARS as well as the services provided by the state through the AAAs.
Thank you, Sean. All right, Bob, last but not least.
Great, thank you. So I'm Bob Lancaster. I'm a program manager at the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond. I've actually had 5 different careers since I've been there, a little over 20 years. So I can certainly talk about a lot of the different career opportunities. But the Federal Reserve is a central bank of the United States. And we were created out of the Federal Reserve Bank of 1913. So we've been around for quite a while. We are a diverse team of 2,700 at the Richmond Fed. We're one of 12 regional Federal Reserve banks working together to strengthen our nation's economy and communities. Richmond is the 5th district, and we service Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, and West Virginia. And the Federal Reserve conducts monetary policy and works to ensure a safe and sound financial system, which is where you do your banking, say Bank of America, Wachovia, or SunTrust. We ensure that soundness through our supervision, banking supervision and regulation function. We provide resources to help you make more informed financial decisions. And we do that through education. We do work in community development, which also supports one of our mandates for low unemployment.
Thanks, Bob. All right, we are going to head into our first question, which is, for each of you, what positions does your company typically hire for, particularly entry-level positions that you think our attendees might be good fits for, and what kind of skills and knowledge do folks need to be hired for these positions? And Mark, we can start with you.
All right. Okay, so we hire for 3 main areas. We hire for warehouse, transportation, and our corporate offices. So in the warehouse, we hire the selectors who assemble orders, forklift drivers, safety coordinators, meat cutters and wrappers, maintenance technicians, and custodians. Forklift drivers need to have a certification that they've completed a forklift training program. In the transportation department, we hire drivers, mechanics, routers, dispatchers. Logistics plays a really important role in the smooth delivery of our products to customers. Drivers need to hold a commercial driver's license. For corporate, we hire office staff for many departments, including procurement, finance, tax, accounting, legal, marketing, human resources, and administration. We also hire sales representatives to sell food and beverage products to our clients. Some of these positions may require a college degree in the preferred field of study.
Thank you, Mark. Gib, what are people at Virginia Asset Management looking for with a new employee?
Sure, thanks, Josh. Actually, very similar to Mark. We primarily are looking for new people and young people to enter the business through basically one of three channels. Probably our primary, one of our primary channels is a lot of our existing teams are always looking to bring on younger future financial advisors, future financial planners. These opportunities really require an individual be able to demonstrate an ability to learn, and that can mean different things to different folks. Sometimes it means a college degree. Sometimes, depending upon the position, we can work with somebody that doesn't necessarily have a college degree. Our firm provides most of the training and onboarding processes itself. So given a good work ethic, given a good desire to succeed, there are often several opportunities in lots of locations that we're looking for folks to actually join one of our financial advisory practices. We're always looking for really good qualified administrative staff. Our administrative staff really is kind of the backbone of the organization, and we bring people in various administrative positions, supporting many different divisions of the company. And so someone really just has to be able to demonstrate some general good capacities, again, in some of the demonstrated fields. And we've got plenty of information online that kind of goes over that. Then we always have some opportunities for some folks that are looking to join a group benefits team. And this is where we send teams of people out to work with companies, helping to get people enrolled in their health benefits, retirement benefits, and things like that. And we're always looking for good people there as well. Again, generally, sometimes we like to see folks that have college educations, but very often the ability and the demonstration to learn and retain and really good work ethic is always really important.
Absolutely. Thanks, Gib. All right, Jay, how about over at Southern States?
Yep. So in terms of our type of opportunities, very, very diverse. We hire a lot of part-time staff that are looking for a flexible work schedule, whether it's, just working, 1 day a week to, full-time 5 days a week, a 40-hour work week. In our retail settings, we hire retail store associates that'll work directly with our customers, understanding their needs and advising them on different products that we provide, whether it's agriculture, animal health or pet food related, or even horticultural or garden oriented type of products. We also hire cashiers and warehouse associates at our retail store locations. Out of our corporate office, those are more administrative service oriented positions that support the common good of the organization, whether it's information technology or human resources or accounting related or supply chain related functions. And then at our agriculture plants, we hire drivers, very much similar to what Mark Trammell mentioned about being CDL certified drivers to operate vehicles. We also hire service technicians that will provide products and installation services for independent businesses as well as residential communities.
Thank you very much, Jay. Dan, how about the folks over at Dominion? What kind of positions are available? Oh,
sorry about that. I just got a Amber Alert on my phone.
So did I.
All right. Let me start over here. So, Josh, it's a good question. So typically, for us, we hire across a broad range of types of jobs, types of skill levels, years of experience, whether it's entry level or a seasoned employee. So at any given time, we have literally dozens of openings. And so also we have a pretty robust internship program. So generally every year we're going to be recruiting for internship level positions as well. So for me, I work as a director of construction, and what our team does is build new power plant facilities. So we build new solar power plants, we build new gas-fired power plants, we build all new construction projects for the company, which is quite a bit. We're always expanding and trying to replace old generation with new types of equipment. So in my team, we would typically hire folks with an engineering or environmental background, but we also hire people who would be working in operations or technician type folks, and those types of positions would be open typically to people who may only have a high school level background. And there's plenty of folks who've had very successful careers with us that didn't necessarily go to college. And then sort of outside the area of the company I work in every day, but also very important, you have other parts of the business that, like I mentioned earlier, deal with accounting and finance, marketing, public outreach. We have a pretty healthy relationship with the political establishment in Dominion, in Virginia as well. So folks that deal with public policy, a lot of those positions typically are going to require a college education background, but not always. So there's quite a bit of a diversity of options here at Dominion Energy. And so you can come equipped with a high school degree if you're working more in the operations and technicians world, but you also may have a shot if it depends. It just kind of depends on your background and your skill level and what you've done. And it's never off the table to replace a college education with years of experience or specific industry experience that fits the role. So with that, I'll turn it back to you.
All right. Lisa, how about at Anthem?
Yes. Hi. Anthem is an exciting place. And particularly in the Richmond office, we have a very large office there. And you can find the majority of our jobs are going to be in the office. They're going to be computer, so you'll need to have good typing skills. Now, one thing I do suggest is, looking at our website consistently, and I'll get into more of that on the tips. But the majority of our jobs in those locations are going to be customer service, where you're on the phone with a headset, answering customers' questions about insurance or coverage. Some of the other popular jobs there are claims. Claims representatives are people who are just viewing their monitor, researching questions on the claims, and moving forward with bills of that nature. One of the things that we have are several jobs at an entry level, but the one thing I say when you are reading the job description, it always generally says a bachelor's degree and or a certain number of years of customer service. And then the end of that sentence will say, or any equivalent education or experience. So we do take a lot of entry-level positions. Now, the good thing about a lot of these customer service or claims or utilization reps and sales support is that here at Anthem, once you work with us 6 months, after that, you would qualify that each year we offer $5,000 of scholarship towards education. It's reimbursed. So you take the classes first, and then you would submit your transcripts and your receipts for college, and we reimburse $5,000 each year.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. Sean, if you would like, you can sort of address this question for your field than specifically for the area's agencies on aging, but feel free to answer however you would like.
Sure. So for the area of agencies on aging, as I shared earlier, they do a number of programs designed to support seniors in their community. And so each of the areas of agency on aging have a number of programs that they run, and the entry level would be somewhere around a program assistant. Someone in that role would certainly have to be customer oriented, and that you'll be dealing with seniors on a regular basis, answering their questions and really tending to their concerns. But then also very administrative. There's a lot of connections that we do with various partners in the community that help administer the services. And so really being able to be organized and help coordinate some of those services between seniors and the different partners. There's a lot of work to be done in terms of database administration, getting information into data systems, and then of course being able to report some of that information verbally to your co-workers and peers and supervisors. Someone interested in this field would probably have some interest in program management, administrative work, human services, or maybe even healthcare, as many of the services are connecting seniors to healthcare services. But there's also finance teams, human resources teams, as well as volunteer management. So there's a variety there that people can be interested in. But the key thing would certainly be having a passion for working with people and helping people.
Great. Thank you, Sean. Bob, how about over at the Federal Reserve?
Yeah, and I'm hearing a little bit of competition with the other panelists here talking about their companies, their organizations. So, I'll start with, Richmond Bank was recently awarded one of the best places to work. So, there's a lot of misconceptions about the Federal Reserve. We are actually not a bank. We do support payment services to other financial institutions and banks. We have a wide variety of roles and positions, each contributing to our public service mission. And some of those areas and across all levels. So some of the areas are information technology, bank examiners and auditors, accountants, human resource specialists, business analysts, economists, cash operations, where we handle the movement of cash from the Federal Reserve to financial institutions. We have a full team that supports the facility itself. So our facilities management has HVAC, mechanical, electrical, automotive that services our bank vehicles, and painters. And we also, through Sodexo, food services is also an opportunity for Federal Reserve, and law enforcement. So, in addition to, some experience or education in those areas, we really look for leadership qualities and leadership at all levels. So we often talk about lead from where you are. So, people who are strategic and action oriented, intellectual curiosity, trusted and helpful when it comes to working with their colleagues, and also enjoy coaching and mentoring. So the positions, many of the positions require a bachelor's degree or higher, but we do have a lot of positions that focus on some of the industry certifications in the areas I mentioned in bank facilities, and do not require a degree. So, encourage you to read the job descriptions carefully, because it'll provide more specifics about each position and what the education and experience requirements are.
Thank you, Bob. I think we got a lot of great answers for some specifics for each company, as well as some really great advice for trying to get into any field, any kind of employment. So we're going to jump ahead a little bit because I want to make sure we have plenty of time for some Q&A. And if you all panelists could try to keep these answers to about 30 seconds on this question, just so that we can get through a couple more. Do you all hire for internships and or apprenticeships? And Mark, we can start with you.
Okay. All right, so we hire students for internships at our corporate offices. These internships usually run in the summertime, and they pay $15 an hour with a 40-hour work schedule. We don't have any formal apprenticeships, but we do have driver training programs where you can earn your CDL in 20 weeks while getting paid $20 an hour. So that's drivers are really in high demand. And so those training programs fill up quickly and are desirable.
Well, I apologize in advance that Mark got to go first on that one. Gib, do you guys have any internship or apprenticeship opportunities?
We do, across the board. Generally, we bring them in two groups, depending upon whether we're working with individuals out of some of the high schools or someone who's in college. And generally, we'll bring a group in right at the beginning of the year that may be looking, for maybe in college during a J term or something like that. But then we'll also bring other individuals in. We'll bring another group in during the summer, which is much more of a mixed group, and they are all paid internships.
Thanks, Gib. Jay, how about over at Southern States?
Yes, so we do have internships out of our corporate office that are paid internships for the summer. We also hire apprentices all year round at our retail store locations, as well as our agronomy plants that are, of course, paid. It says operations, sales, and customer service.
Awesome. Thank you, Jay. Dan, does Dominion have similar opportunities?
Absolutely. We have I'd say a robust internship program. We have an annual recruiting effort that's led by our HR team. And one of the key initiatives over the last few years has been to focus in on diversity and expanding representation in our workforce of folks with diverse backgrounds, folks with disabilities, things of that nature, as well as finding all the best talent we can across all backgrounds. So those are all paid internships, and that program is geared towards finding people that want to become full-time Dominion employees. So
great.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you, Dan. Lisa, how about over at Anthem?
We do have internship programs. They're generally out of the college level because most of them are going to be in the area of actuarial epidemiology. There is some sales internships, but those are some that each individual state may have crafted and may put out there. But generally those come from some sales experience.
Gotcha. And Sean, how about the area age? Your business is a mouthful. I apologize. Go ahead, Sean.
The AAAs, like I said, there are 25 different AAAs around the state, and they all run their very own internship programs. I can't speak to each of them because they have different criteria. Some may have some and some may not. And really the best way to figure out is find your personal AAA in your community or where you'd like to work and reach out to them, and they can probably share that information more specifically.
Awesome. Thank you, Sean. And Bob, how about over at the Federal Reserve?
Yes, we have an annual rotation of paid internships, and those are geared more towards juniors and seniors graduating. But we've also been working for many years very closely with DARS and other organizations like North Star, and VCU has a program where we've created some internship opportunities to get more experience on the job. We've done a lot with job shadowing, and we've done a few temporary positions that have led to more full-time employment.
Thank you, Bob. After all this, I feel like I need to update my resume. It sounds like there's a lot of good jobs out there. So if we could do one last question and just the shortest possible answer you can muster, what single piece of advice would you give to someone looking for a job within your company? And keep in mind, we would like to wrap this section of the thing up at 5:15. So Mark, go ahead. Sorry in advance.
Okay. So we experience moderate turnover at our distribution centers. So we look for candidates who express an interest in long-term career growth. Be honest about your qualifications and experience so we can work with you. We can train you for any missing skills you may have, but it's helpful to know up front so we can plan the training when you begin your journey with us.
Thanks, Mark. Gib, one piece of advice you could give to folks.
Sure. What I would say is, much like what Mark said, we can teach someone all of the technical expertise that they need to be successful long-term in our business. But what we can't do is have someone, we can't teach someone to always have a positive attitude and come in with a strong work ethic and have a desire to work very closely with our clients.
Thank you, Gib. Jay, how about it?
I would say that, Southern states, we're very neighborly. We're very customer driven. I think it's very important, regardless if you're entry level or you have years of experience, that you put the customer first. And you think about your skill sets and you do the research on the culture of the organization. That will help you to identify the right opportunity you're looking for.
Thanks, Jay. That's great advice. Dan, one piece of advice you could give folks?
So obviously work ethic, dedication, people who want to be here long-term, all valuable, but we're really looking for people who are, independent thinkers, people who can help shape the company going forward, because we're going through a huge transition in what we've done historically. And we're looking for a lot of fresh thinking to change the way we do business and reshape the company into the future. And the type of people that think differently, love their jobs, and come in with an attitude to commit to that change in the future would be good.
Great, thanks. So innovation. Lisa, how about over at Anthem?
Yes, I definitely would say we're looking for people who want to help other people. In our customer service and claims department, we have tons of openings and we are looking for people just like you guys. What I would say is our jobs are posted every single day. There's something new out there. So if you are seriously looking for something at Anthem, I would suggest to check our website twice a week regularly. If you see a customer service job posted and then tomorrow you see it again, but it has a different, that means that is a different role and your resume would not be attached to the second role. So if you see more than one job posting with different numbers, you need to apply to every single one of those.
That is fantastic advice, and you guys should keep that in mind for any major company that you're applying for, where the positions are online. Apply often, apply to every single position you see. Sean, how about you?
Sure. Definitely, as I said earlier, with the AAAs, and very much like what Lisa said, it's definitely takes someone who has a passion for working with people and someone who can sometimes multitask because they work with programs, a number of different programs. But I would say certainly it's an opportunity for people who are creative as we build new programs, but also, again, specifically people that are passionate about working with other people and specifically seniors.
Thanks. And finally, Bob.
All right, I'll wrap it up. And so actually all of what you've just heard from the other panelists, and I would add, make sure you research the business, understand, what they do and what value you can add to that. And my last piece of advice is my favorite quote from Wayne Gretzky: hockey pro, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
There you go. Perfect. Great way to close it out. Well, it is now time for the question and answer section. So I know there's been a lot of questions pop up in the chat. I will say it's going to be hard for us to scroll through to find them. So if you have a question or if you already typed it and you want to kind of repeat it and throw it in the chat, that would be really helpful. And we'll have about 10 minutes to do this. So go ahead and ask some questions and I will field them to the candidates. If you have a question for a specific panelist, it would be helpful for you to mention them, by name, by company, however you can identify them would be great. Hey,
Josh, there was a question about Anthem and remote locations. And we have jobs that are all over the US, and you can definitely apply to positions. They generally say remote. If it was a non-COVID world, they would tell you remote or not. However, right now, currently, all of us are remote right now.
Great. Thank you, Lisa. And that's a good question, I think, for the whole panel as well. Is anybody else remote versus non-remote options? Is that?
We're full remote.
And that was Bob with the Federal Reserve is full remote right now. Any other questions that you all have?
This is Jay with Southern States. We actually have a hybrid being a retailer. Excuse me, we do have an on-site presence at our store locations that we've included, a variety of sanitation efforts, processes for temperature checking, social distancing. We have basically an online schedule to come into our store as well, and adhering to CDC guidelines in the health departments in all the states and counties where we operate and work.
Thanks, Jay. I saw a question earlier about Osha certification, and I know we got a little bit of some answers from that in the actual chat, but for everybody on the panel, and feel free to just jump in, are there certifications, OSHA, I know we heard forklift certified earlier, are there other things like that that folks could get involved with to, get their resume to the top of the pile, so to speak?
Sure, I'll start with that. So an OSHA certification study course would be very helpful if you wanted to apply for a safety coordinator position at the warehouse level. That's a great it's a great way to differentiate yourself from other candidates. And so if you've got that certificate, I would highly recommend applying to that type of position.
Hey, this is Dan O'Brien. I would echo what Mark says. We have safety coordinator positions that work at our operating facilities, and that OSHA certificate would definitely move you up the list if you have that in advance.
Great. LaPearl, that's a great question. This would be for everybody as well. What advice would you all give to high school students that would be interested in your careers with your company? And anybody can feel free to jump in here.
This is Jay with Southern States. We actually hire a significant amount of high school students. Our requirement is you have to be age 16 or older to work in any of our stores. I think it's important that you look at your schedule, weekly, your academic schedule versus your free time to work, and being able to balance that.
Thanks. And Beth had a really great question. Do any of you all, I know Anthem does anyone else hire for 100% remote work? Bearing in mind that a lot of folks are from all across the state who are attending this webinar, but couldn't necessarily come to Richmond to work, but are probably very motivated to work with your companies.
Yeah, we do. In fact, I have a staff in other states, so we hire kind of full-time remote workers. And also, I wanted to comment on the high school student question. We have a lot of education the Federal Reserve provides for all the way from middle school up through high school. So opportunities to visit the Federal Reserve and learn more about us in preparation for a possible position.
Thanks.
Hey, Josh, Dan.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say that to echo what I heard earlier, every position that's listed at Dominion Energy will show the amount from home. There are positions that are offered 100%. A lot of positions are hybrid, and if you can always go to the website, and I think someone said 2 or 3 times a week, always check for their latest available positions, and they'll list what is available to you in terms of work location.
Dan, looks like you got another question coming in. How much electricity do you make over at Dominion?
So we produce roughly 27,000 megawatts a day at Dominion Energy. So that's roughly 5 million homes across the U.S.
That is a lot.
But I don't make any of it. There's a lot smarter people than me that work here that do the real work to make that happen.
Nobody wants to know how much cash the Federal Reserve produces?
I do. That's my question. How much cash does the Federal Reserve produce?
A lot. We pump cash out into the markets as part of our monetary policy.
And
I was going to add a statement. What advice I would give to a high school student? Generally, having experience in interviewing and knowing how to feel confident about the interview questions, I would suggest your teachers, your advisors, if you know of any business professionals, of your parents, ask them if they will give you a practice interview, and get dressed, go to it like an interview, do 3 or 4 of those so you get the jitters out. But also do some research on behavioral interviewing. These are questions that you would be asked of, tell me about a time where you had to help an angry customer. Tell me about a time where you solved a problem at work with another coworker. So we want to know how you behave in certain situations. So make sure you have a story in your repertoire that you could tell the person in an interview, whether it's a problem in school or with a classmate or a teacher, or how you helped or how you volunteered, that you could tell a winning story or an overcoming story.
that is great. I want to reiterate LaPearl's sentiments. Lisa, you are a treasure trove of great information on like getting employed, the interview process, all of these steps, and I think all of the advice you're giving is really, really great. So thanks for kind of thinking outside the box with some of these answers to these questions as well. I think we probably have time for another question if anybody has any last thoughts, or if not, we can certainly move on. But
Josh, there was a question in the chat that says, does Federal Reserve have non-IT positions?
Yeah, Bob, you want to address that out loud as well?
Yeah, we have, and I may have gone through those quickly. We have a lot of non-IT positions, as I mentioned, in the areas of cash operations, our facilities management, business analysts. I mean, we certainly cover, I think, all of the probably positions across the board that you would find in any organization.
Thanks, Bob. And I think that we're going to close up the Q&A, and I would like to give a huge thank you to all of our panelists for participating in today's Career Cafe, as well as a big thank you to all of our attendees. A quick reminder, stay on while I'm talking right now so that you can be entered into the raffle for the gift card. If you're looking for more information on these careers, other careers, please check out the Virginia Ability website. That is www.virginiaability.org. You will find our resource library there, where we will have links to videos about careers from the companies you've heard, as well as other careers. You will also find a link to our Jobs Ability portal, which you heard from Mark about earlier. This portal will help connect individuals with disabilities to jobs using AI technology. Lisa, thank you for dropping your email in the chat. If others want to do that or provide a great point of contact for folks in the chat, that would be helpful. And we hope that you'll be joining us next week, where I will be interviewing Gordon Sproat from the Newport News Shipbuilding Yard, as well as Nat Marshall with BWXT, and they will be discussing careers in welding, machining, inspection, and obviously shipbuilding. Well, we have come to the time where we will announce the big winner of the gift card. So I'm going to turn it over to Kathleen and let her do that.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick. Hopefully we'll be able to keep the interpreter so everybody can see them. All right, I'm going to do a quick spin. Dun, 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 dun. All right, it looks like Durand is the winner. We will, we have your email, so we will send you the information and contact so that you will be able to get your gift certificate. Very exciting, woohoo! And that's all I have. I'll stop sharing.
Congratulations, Durand. Hope you can get yourself something nice. Maybe you can get yourself some interview clothes that you can wear to an interview with one of these companies. That would be wonderful. Thank you all for attending today's session. We hope to see you next week as well as the week after. And the week after, we've got one of these same time, 4:30 on Thursdays throughout the month of February. So please come on back and check out the other panels. I hope everyone learned a lot. And again, please feel free to check out virginiaability.org for more information. Reach out to anybody that you heard stuff about specifics in the chat, anything like. And I think we got one more question, which we actually have time to answer. Does this program have any classes on how to start your own business? That is a question I don't know the answer to.
Josh, and I was also going to mention, if they don't find what they're looking for on Virginia Ability, we have an email address, info@virginiaability.org. And please send the entrepreneur question along, because I'd love to connect you with some resources.
Thanks, Bob. Yeah, Aaron, please email info@virginiaability.org, and we can point you in the right direction for sure. All right. Well, if nobody has anything else, thanks again. And again, we hope to see you all next week.
Well done, Josh. Thanks.
Thanks. Good job.
Thank you, everybody. That was great. Appreciate it.
That's great.